Howdy YouTube. Right. This is something like the 5th video I've done, and I wanted to basically get it out there as quick as possible. First, I got some rather grim news. You may notice that I ain't got no hair. And that's because about 2 months ago, I was diagnosed with a brain tumour. And basically, the doctors now say that there isn't an awful lot that they can do for me, so I'm going alternative. And I'm going to do the best I can with that one and get rid of it. There is, as usual, there are several links I can recommend to you all. I recommend you check out the Budwig Diet and the Phoenix Tears website. And they're doing some really, really interesting research when it comes to gliomas, which is the kind of medical catch-all term for brain tumours. And even in supposedly terminal cases, they're getting cancer cured, which I think is pretty phenomenal. The only problem is it's illegal and ridiculously expensive to go for the treatment I'm going for. So I'm going to do the best I can with it. And I'm going to report back regularly to tell you how it goes. And from here on in, this hair will grow back eventually. This hair is going to come back. That much is pretty certain. But here, it's not going to grow back. And around the side, it's not. So, around the back there, it's going to be looking pretty patchy. And I think I can live with that, but we'll see. Nor, it leaves you pretty pissed off. Pretty pissed off about those kinds of things happening. And why it happened to you is pretty much a pointless question to ask. And even in regards to whether the treatment is actually going to work, is a pointless question to ask. You just do the best you can and you keep going anyway. But the upside of going through something like this is that you stop caring about people's stupid bullshit completely. It becomes completely and utterly irrelevant. You just forget it. You just forget it all. All the stupid games that people play to get attention just go out the window. And that is what I wanted to talk about this time through. Is the nature of status and gossip and winning that game. Now, why do people do that? Why do people even play these games to begin with, which you tend to think are just totally stupid and ridiculous? And the simple truth is, and the thought that I want you to hold in your head today, is that gossip is designed to socially tell you who you are. Gossip is the way of your little social clan telling you where you belong and helping you figure it out. Because when you come into any new situation you don't know, you just have no idea of how it clicks and how it connects. And unless you're the kind of person to take control of yourself and figure out that you do deserve the absolute best, and you do deserve to be the absolute most successful person you can be. Unless you do that, then you're probably not going to get there. Probably not going to get to the top position in any kind of social situation. Because people socially acclimate and average out each other so that everyone is essentially an average of everyone else. And though we're no longer really representing ourselves, we're just going with the social mask of the person we think we are. It's a very subtle game of persuasion and performance that's essentially molds us right from the get-go. And there are all kinds of fascinating studies being done on social psychology and in the animal world in particular that basically deal how these things play out, about how people essentially get other people to trust themselves, or not to trust them. how other people get a good enough image of someone that they know roughly what to expect, because they don't know directly, because they don't sit in their shoes, and because there's always an issue of dying or threats just subconsciously lurking beneath the surface. And the person who can come into any situation and address that indirectly, kind of under the surface, communicate that through things like body language, you can beat the game. Now, if you're not in that position and you want to be, you can practice. You can practice the skills necessary to break yourself free, and I think it's a totally noble and excellent thing to do, because leadership is a dying quality. Truly, it's a dying quality in people nowadays. So the question here is, how do you get into that position most effectively? You adopt some kind of social narrative role that's been predetermined. That would be the quickest way to just break out of this completely. And we all have an image in our head of a born leader. We all have an image in our head of someone who knows how to get things done. And they kind of provide shortcuts for us, shortcuts for certainty for what we're looking for. But they're all based around absolving and removing fear from the social situation. And I think that's a bad way. That's a really bad way to go in any kind of social paradigm. And the important thing is that to ask yourself, what do you want? And I've addressed that before in previous videos. So, in conclusion, I guess, gossip is a way of figuring out other people figuring out if they trust you. Gossip and status and how much people trust you with and your role and your position, it's all averaged out by the system unless you figure out how to play the game, and unless you can take control of your own thoughts and mold them over time to remove all detritus and to remove your subconscious habits and get into the flow of it. I think this is a terrific skill to build. I think if you build the ability to network in business and network socially, you've mastered a lot of stuff in life. And again, it only just gets better and better, and you can just go higher and higher with it. Make it a personal practice. Make it a personal practice for yourself to figure out how to use gossip and use status and use the roles that other people give you, and set yourself not to the alpha male, but the omega male, and you can find a way out of it. Find a way out of the game. Thought of the day. Take care, and you'll be hearing from me again soon. My hair will start growing back for the most part. And seize the day. Carpe diem. Carpe smoothie, actually. Sounds smoothie. Yeah! What? Adios, y'all.